Nicolas Cage spin-off of his Spider-Noir character from the Spider-Verse animated, but it's going to be live action and it's going to be on Amazon and it's going to be Ben Reilly. And we're like, what? This can't make sense or be good. Well, let's hold our breath because it just might be something that we can get on board with because we finally got a trailer and we got some great images. So this comes to us from vocal.media. They say Amazon and Sony have officially dropped the first trailer for Spider-Noir, the upcoming live action Spider-Man series set to release this spring. Nicolas Cage returns, but not the version you expect. One of the biggest headlines is the return of Nicolas Cage as Spider-Noir in live action. However, this is not the same character he voiced in the Spider-Verse films, like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or the upcoming sequel. Instead, the show introduces a completely separate take on the character. Rather than Peter Parker, this version appears to be Ben Reilly from another universe. In fact, no one in the series even calls him Spider-Man. He is simply referred to as the Spider. This feels like a creative whim and more like less than a creative whim, more like a licensing compromise. With multiple live action Spider-Man already in play across the multiverse, Sony likely wanted to like clear up some separation between the noir detective and theatrical versions and Miles. This is a Lord and Miller joint, which is nice because they have developed the spider related shows for Sony. But a lot of them fell through. But they had Silk series and among other spinoffs. But this one, after months and years of development limbo, finally snuck through. And so we got a really good look at this. So, Zach, why don't we break it down a little bit? For one, I kind of just want to start with the overall feeling. And one is they dropped this bad boy trailer in full color and black and white true hue version, which is really good. And a great monochrome option is a direct nod to the original Spider-Noir comic and the old film noir films, you know?
Yeah.
And so right away, I was blown away from it, to be honest. It was a little bit mix of, you know, Sin City with some Cronenberg body, you know, horror. Really up Nicolas Cage's alley. On top of that, it's also a Spider-Man series. Like this swinging is legit Spider-Man swinging. So I don't want to sway you because I swung right to the swinging of it all, but just based on the trailer, based on, you know, the Spider-Man moves, the noir moves, what was your just overall impressions of this trailer?
It really reminded me of two different Batman animated series. The 90s Batman the animated series, based on kind of like the body horror and the villains that they have in this. It just reminded me of Man Bat and Crocodile. Not Crocodile. What's the name of the crocodile villain? Killer Croc. And the way they looked and how scary they were in that series, it reminds me of that. But it also reminds me of the newest animated Batman movie on Amazon, also Batman Cape Crusader, where it has this old school noir feel. It's in modern time, but it feels like it's noir and back in the 60s, 40s or whatever. And also that show was able to flip characters. Like Penguin was a woman and Harley Quinn was a therapist still, but then like a psychotic one. Like you got to do little different kind of things.
Yeah, they got to twist the lore. They got
on all the characters, right? And but Batman kind of stayed the same. I feel like that's happening here where they're changing things with like Sandman and Man Spider, because Man Spider in the comics is Peter Parker. Hey, and all these different characters. Yo, the Man Spider looks insane, but I love that we're getting that. You know, even Black Cat is the woman from Sinners, right? And she looks amazing. So I
She's
really like that they're doing that.
You know, like ruined it.
Yeah.
I love the design of
Yeah,
the
man.
new Sinister Six, if you will, because that's what it looks
Mm,
like. What we're getting a little bit. We
yeah,
have Sandman, we have Man Spider, we have what's his name, Magma Man. Is that his name?
something like that. Yeah,
Magma Man. Help us out in the chat if you guys know. And then we have Electro as well. So it's just really cool to see that like this is his universe and these are his villains and they're a variation, but they're a little bit more effed up, if you will. And I really
yeah.
love that. Is Man Spider Nicolas Cage, by the way? Is,
Ooh, I never
is
thought of that.
this him, his evolution of the spider getting worse? You know what I mean? The ticks are getting worse and he's evolving more. And this is where body horror really comes in because that would be really interesting. It
Yeah,
also would be a big move in the first season. That's wild if they do that.
yeah. Because in the animated show when it happened, he had to like go find a cure. He went to the X-Men. He had all these scientists.
Oh my
This
God,
is
beautiful.
old school noir, right? Like there's not going to be
Right.
anyone that's super smart to help him with this. So it'll be
No.
interesting if they go that far, or maybe it's a clone. Maybe somebody got his DNA, try to recreate it, and then this is what happened to them because they didn't know how to do it properly. That would be interesting as well.
I love that. And I love what Collector's saying too. And I feel like, oh, I'm blocking your face. Let me get here. I feel like this trailer did a lot of work. Obviously, the opposite of what the Grogu trailer did, where it really bumped up people's excitement so much that Collector is saying that their mom said, like, I might actually join you on this one. So
Yeah.
it looks like something really diving into what I think a lot of those villain anti-hero Sony spin-offs miss is that people
Mm,
want Spider-Man. That is
yeah.
the most important thing. You can play with the lore, you can have different kinds of Spider-Man, but at the end of the day, that's what gets people in the seat is
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And they could
And
have did
that
this in the movies. If they didn't want Tom Holland, they could have just got Nicolas Cage to be noir, and then it would build up to each movie him going to face the
Mhm.
Sinister Six.
100%. Yeah. And
Yeah.
those villain movies could have had they could have had, Toby Maguire or Andrew Garfield as that Spider-Man in that universe and just come in for a little bit and come out, like
Yeah.
people want to see Spider-Man. And I get you don't want to dilute the product, but dude, you're already doing that when you're trying to stamp his name and not include him in it and expand the lore of the villains, but make them all anti-heroes. Like that's not the right move. The right
Yeah.
move is this. This is more the right move because it feels like Spider-Man, but it's not. It's in
Yeah.
a different time. It's in a different timeline. It's in a different
Yeah.
dimension. So there's so many possibilities where you can play with the lore of the Spider-Man that we know and love and twist it in a way that's new and fresh that doesn't mess up anything that has come before it. And that is how you do Spider-Man. And so I really think this has a lot of potential.
True.
Now, it could go the other way if I play devil's advocate for a second.
Mm.
Um, has the Sony spin-offs that haven't been the main Spider-Man done well? No, not really, to say the least.
Other than
However,
Venom, not
other
really.
than Venom, and those movies are fun, and that's it. and so I get a little bit scared because it looks good, but it also looks like it could go the other way too. I want to have the hope. I want to believe, X-Files, but it's a wait and see for me. Right now, my excitement bumped way up. I mean, I love the design. I think
Mhm.
the swinging looks fantastic. It does not look hokey. It looks movie quality, the
Yeah.
VFX. It really does. And so there's a lot of things going for it, but it's a
I think the
fine
black and white
line.
helps with that too, right? Like with the VFX,
People are
it
saying
makes
that.
everything kind of look solid. It doesn't have to like if
Yeah.
it's when there's too much shadows with VFX, that's when you start seeing things look weird. But with everything black and white, you can't tell.
My question is this going to be Sin City 1 or Sin City 2? Because those look the same, But
Yeah,
these two things are not the
not the
same
same quality
because
of story.
the first one is goated. And like you said, the quality of storytelling is what separates a great show from an okay show from a terrible show. And
Yeah,
so really this thing needs to hit, because if you do, you got a big bad Spider-Man TV series that people love. You just hit the jackpot, baby.
yeah,
Like
and I think
like
two things here, right? I think Lord and Miller being involved gives me some confidence because
I
they're
hope.
really good, right? And you can
Yep.
tell by the trailer there's some artistic intent with everything. The fact that they know, oh, everybody's not going to want to watch this in black and white. There's some weird people that won't watch anything in black and white,
Mhm.
so let's give them the color. And then two, I think that the fact that they have to get Nicolas Cage to rein it in. That I think that is more important than the Sin City part, right? He can't
Yeah.
go off the rails. It's going to
No,
turn
but
so
it's
many
gonna be
people off.
weird. Use his weirdness
Oh
as
yeah,
a strength, because that tagline, it made my wife like laugh out loud. She loved it. With no power comes no responsibility. She was like, I love that. That's great.
right.
So like lean into that. He's weird, but there is a line, like you're
It's a
saying,
lot.
and you got to play with that line. And this is the way to do it. Other than that, you got some great people in there. I mean, you got a 1930s version of Robbie Robertson played by Lamorne Morris, who is
I
fantastic
love
in
them.
Fargo.
Yeah,
You got Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, like you said, shows up as the nightclub singer. You got Brendan Gleeson as Silvermane, which is a wild deep cut character
yeah,
whose attempted assassination drives the plot. The 1930s version of Sandman as a mob bodyguard. Possible hints of Mr. Negative were lurking in the background that I saw as well. So you got
mm,
all these breadcrumbs that could add up to a badass show.
yeah,
So I'm taking it with a grain of salt because I want this bad boy to succeed. This thing is coming out not too far from now. We got a May 27th premiere. It's following the Boys model, so it's a 2-episode launch with weekly episodes after, roughly 8 episodes total. And so that seems the format standard for
yeah.
the,
For Amazon,
for Amazon, which I really like, and that helps you get into it. So, between its detective tone, alternate universe hero, and classic film inspirations, Spider Noir looks like less like a traditional superhero series and more like a pulp crime drama with web slinging at it. And so this bad boy could really disrupt the comic book TV shows that we've seen in a big bad way. And I, for one, can't wait to just see what it is. So
yeah.
let us know your guys' thoughts. Are you excited for Spider Noir? Did the trailer do the work and bump that excitement up, or make your mom want to watch it with you? Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts.